Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, my oh my, it is Thursday, 19th day of March 2026. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. A very mild and overcast morning, 52 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley. We almost set a record yesterday. That caught right up to us. We were thinking 63, maybe 64 for the afternoon high. We got all the way up to 69 on Wednesday. That was 1 degree off the record high for March 18th. Omak did set a record yesterday. They popped all the way up to 74. It was in the upper 60s out in the Columbia Basin. This crazy, unpredictable weather continues. Going to be mild today. No sunshine, though. We were hoping for some sunshine when we got together yesterday at this time. Not going to be the case. We'll do this all over again on Friday. And then Friday night, cold front comes in, and we cool off and get lots of sunshine for the weekend. And temperatures back down to where they should be. And maybe a little bit of rain, too, on occasion. Forecast details are coming up. We have a lot to talk about from what Mother Nature has in store for us. We have a lot of news to talk about as well. Sports, Gonzaga, here we go. The big dance. They're taking on Kennesaw State in the Rose City tonight at 7 o'clock. Quick preview of that. Mariners won. Kraken didn't win. Kraken didn't lose. Kraken didn't play. We'll have that in sports. It's Thursday. Pause for Pets. Blitz needs a home. No, we're not talking about the Seahawk mascot, Blitz. No, he's fine. We're talking about a German Shepherd named Blitz. We'll check in with our Pause for Pets folks at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And part two of my interview with the chief of the Wenatchee Police Department, Chief Edgar Reinfeld, a font of information. He knows his stuff. We had such a great time with the chief that we went ahead and make that a two-part interview. You saw part one yesterday. Part two, or as we like to say in the business, part two is today. Here we go. Let's take our tour with our PTZ cameras. There is the valley proper, and there's still just a couple of little snippets of snow way up on top of Birch Mountain. I think Badger might be done altogether. There's still some snow on the ground in Leavenworth, up in the Lake Wenatchee area, but 69 degrees. Yesterday morning at this time, there was a little bit of light snow in some of the locations around here. Not anymore. Up to Cashmere we go. That's the Stein Hill camera, the Mount Cashmere golf course. Jumps right out at you. It'll be a good day to go out and play some golf. You should be dry for the most part, so you can go out and hit the ball around. There's the Chelan County Fairgrounds in plain view from high atop Stein Hill, which is not plural, as I discovered. Well, there's Nantipoc. There's the example I was telling you about. Still some snow up there. You can see the Cato Glen Golf and Ski Resort still covered in snow. They're going to have some more snow melt as well. Looks like Lake Wenatchee is beginning to all but turn into a lake again instead of a giant ice rink. From high atop Nantipoc Ridge, looks a little cloudy there. The clouds are much lower in the Lake Wenatchee area, but of course it's also higher in elevation. Speaking of high in elevation, McNeil Canyon. Now those clouds up Chelan Way look pretty high compared to the Lake Wenatchee camera. And as the crow flies, it's really not that far between Lake Wenatchee and Lake Chelan, but that's a big difference between how high the clouds are. That's McNeil Canyon. You can make out the lake and a little bit of Chelan proper on the far left-hand side of your screen. We have the slide to show for you. It does have Wenatchee on it, but we'd like to throw these up now and again for you folks in our viewing area who we don't normally spotlight, specifically Moses Lake and Omak. Omak will be in the 70s again today, so will Moses Lake. It has been very, very mild all over the place. And look at the snow level at the very bottom of your screen. I mean, close to 9,000 feet above sea level. It's going to dip down quite a bit. In fact, we can't rule out a little bit of snow Tuesday night into Wednesday, even though we will be well into spring. Of course, the vernal equinox, the moment that winter becomes spring, is tomorrow morning at 7:46, and from that point forward, it is officially spring. From Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. We're going to back down a little bit. We're going to say 64 today. It's going to be cloudy all day today. Some late afternoon rain is in the forecast for today. It's a 30% chance of rain, but a 40% chance of rain tonight in the evening hours. Not a deluge, just some light sprinkles. We'll get down to 50 for the overnight low. 50% chance of rain tomorrow with a few sun breaks on Friday with a high of 65. Late in the day on Friday into Saturday in the wee small hours is when the cold front is going to pay us a visit. It's going to keep us cloudy, it's going to cool us down, and it's going to make things just a little breezy on Friday night, but that's just a blip in the screen because the weekend looks good. 53 and sunshine Saturday, 55 and sunshine on Sunday. Maybe a few clouds late on Sunday night, but for the most part, Saturday is going to be sunny all day. Sunday will be sunny most of the day until we get later on in the afternoon. Then we cloud right back up on Monday night, Tuesday. Tuesday looks pretty wet, by the way, and the snow level Wednesday is going to go all the way down to 2,500 feet. But we're also going to get up to 51, so whatever snow we get ain't going to be around much. We're going to take a break and come back and let you know what the heck is going on around here. It's a segment that we call the news. And it's next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The National RV Show is happening now at the Grant County Fairgrounds through Sunday, March 22nd. Countless manufacturers and unbeatable deals. Shop a huge selection of all the best brands of travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Shop Grand Design, Flagstaff, Gulfstream, and much more. All with massive manufacturer discounts, free admission, and you could win a new RV. Don't miss the National RV Show at the Grant County Fairgrounds. Schedule a VIP tour to save $1,000 at nationalrvshowmoseslake.com.
Quite a bit of cloud cover, 52 degrees, mid-60s today. No sunshine, though. A couple of light raindrops possible late this afternoon, overnight tonight. A few sun breaks Friday, still extremely mild. A lot cooler and a lot more sunshine come the weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. The accused driver in the November auto crash that killed 2 East Wenatchee youths has now been formally charged with vehicular homicide. Earlier this month, Chelan County prosecutors leveled 2 counts against Jared Jeffrey Smith of Wenatchee. He was 18 years old when he allegedly spun out and crashed an Audi sedan at high speed. This happened near the Easy Street roundabout back on November 21st. The collision with an oncoming GMC Sierra pickup killed 12-year-old front seat passenger Bentley Knight. A 14-year-old passenger in the rear, Eric Figueroa, died after several days at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Both were students at Eastmont Junior High. Smith suffered a head injury in the accident. He was hospitalized until early December. Prosecutors charged him on March 5th. He is due to make his first appearance in Chelan County Superior Court next week. The Small Business Administration opened a temporary office in Leavenworth last week. The idea is to help residents recover after the December storms. The SBA says with the office expected to close for good after tomorrow, only 6 applications for low-interest disaster loans have been processed there. The SBA's Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience says the office will continue to welcome all Chelan County residents from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. until it closes. Most applicants, your deadline is April 27th to file your claim. Our own Jefferson Robbins spoke last week with the outreach specialist, Javier Kaltenko, to discuss the process of applying.
We have staff there, members, who are there to answer questions. If anybody wants to come in, there's no obligation to fill out any applications. They're not obligated to do anything. They can just go there and ask questions. If they want to fill out the application, they can do that there as well. the staff members can guide them through the process so they don't have to worry about it.
We should say that the office is located in the Leavenworth Chamber of Commerce building. That's on Highway 2, pretty close to downtown Leavenworth. But it serves all of Chelan County.
Correct, that's correct. We also have other centers in other counties that are also impacted. They can go to any of the centers that we have available.
Yeah, we should remember the emergency declaration that is bringing you here also applies to many, many other counties here in Washington as well, that had some of which have much more severe damage than ours.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the process, Javier? If someone has a business, let's say, or if they are running a nonprofit, they lost assets or property in the flooding and the windstorms, what's the application process like for them?
They can come to the center again. You know, that's the best. I always encourage everybody to come to the center, and they can guide them through the whole process, the application process. They don't have to have everything at once, but you know, some of the things that they should have is like their address, you know, just basic information. Make sure they have an ID, just to make sure that they can verify themselves. If they have their tax forms, they can also upload them, use them, you know, to upload them into their file as they are applying as well. So those are probably some of the basic things. Then SBA will actually get back to them through email in most cases, and they're going to tell them, okay, you know what, we need this document, we need this other document to complete your application process.
Who can qualify? If someone is coming in to make one of these claims with SBA, who's the clientele that you're looking for?
Yes, okay, so first of all, we want to clarify, make sure that it's for homeowners, renters, nonprofit organizations, and businesses who were impacted in the disaster declared area. In this case, we have Chelan County or any other counties that are included. Another thing, we want to make sure that it was during that time that was affected, right? Which in this case is going to be December 2nd through December 22nd.
That's the period when the weather was at its most severe and the water started rising and people started to really see the impact.
Yes.
Can you tell me about, so to clarify, it sounds like it's not just a business situation, although small business is in your name. Other people can apply and may qualify as well.
Yes, that's correct. And that's, again, you know, just want to make sure that individuals, you know, homeowners and renters who are impacted as well, they qualify for this assistance as well.
How long does it take, Javier, from an application to the applicant getting word as to whether they've been approved for a loan?
Normally, if once they have all the documentation that SBA needs, it usually, I would say more likely around between 7 to 14 days. I've seen some, again, you know, within 7 days, you know, they even got notice. But we usually try to give them like a 3-week just time frame, just to be safe. Mm-hmm.
I understand that the loans are very low interest, is that correct?
Yes, correct. They're fixed, first of all, you know, they're fixed rates. And, you know, for homeowners and renters, it's as low as 2.875%. For businesses, it's as low as 4%. And for nonprofits, it's 3.625%.
Is there an upper ceiling for how much people could expect to gain through this loan process?
Yes, for homeowners to fix. Okay, so we have up to $500,000 for homeowners and for homeowners to repair or replace their primary residence. For homeowners and renters, we have up to $100,000 to repair or replace any personal property they lost. So this could be, for example, like furniture, appliances, or even a personal vehicle as well.
And for businesses, is there an upper ceiling? Let's say, you know, you lost your office or something like that.
Yes, good. And so for businesses, we have the economic injury disaster loan, which is there's a limit of $2 million. We also have a $2 million limit for any physical damages to the real estate or any other property that they lost, or it could be a combination of the two, up to $2 million.
Do you know, or is it too early to say how many people or how many businesses might have applied for this kind of service here in Chelan County?
Yes, right now it's kind of early in the process, so we really don't have that information yet.
So there's a deadline situation here. I know that this office is open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays until March 20th.
Yes.
That's about a 2-week window. But is there a deadline after which people would no longer be able to apply for this kind of assistance from SBA?
Yes, we actually want those who are affected, survivors, to please, apply. If they have any physical damages, they need to apply before April 27 for any physical damages, and we have until November 24 for the economic injury disaster loan.
Javier, is there anything you can think of that I didn't ask or that you think people should know about the program?
Yes, I understand that, a lot of individuals may say, oh, I don't want a loan. But, some of the good benefits about SBA loan is that, first of all, there's no application fee. There's no prepayment penalty. They have 6 months to decide whether they want the loan or not, or if they've been approved. They can still wait until they are 100% sure that they want the loan or they need the loan. So they don't have to take it right away. We also, for the first 12 months, they don't have to make any payments. We want them to concentrate on their recovery versus trying to make those payments. And the first 12 months is going to be 0% interest rate.
So people can apply remotely or online, but in the meantime you have this in-person option where people can get guidance at the local office here in Chelan County.
Yes, that's correct. And if for some reason if somebody cannot attend or they cannot go to the center, we have a website where they can do it online, which is lending.sba.gov.
Lending.sba.gov.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, the Center for SBA Services is open at the Leavenworth Chamber of Commerce from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. weekdays until March 20th. Javier Caltenco with the Small Business Administration.
Yes.
Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here.
You're watching the NCW Life channel.
The Chelan Valley Housing Trust is in need of a new leader. The affordable housing nonprofit announced Tuesday that Executive Director Scott Myers has resigned from his position. He's going to take a job elsewhere. Myers was hired in 2023, and the board said in a statement that he's leaving the organization stronger and well-positioned for the future. It's a nonprofit, and they aim to address Chelan's housing crisis by developing affordable homes for local workers. A hiring committee has been formed. It's in the beginning stages of the search for the new director. In the meantime, Associate Director Rachel Goldie will serve as interim executive director. The Women's Service League of NCW giving away over 1,000 prom dresses to high school girls this Saturday and Sunday. New and gently used prom dresses of various sizes and colors will be available inside the former Veterans Warehouse building in the North Avenue Plaza Shopping Center. Seamstresses will be on site to assist with minor adjustments for hemming and strapping. The giveaway follows last weekend's My Girlfriend's Closet, which raised about $107,000. I had a chance to talk to marketing chair Corey Batista about who can take advantage of the prom dress giveaway.
So anybody, any high school girl, student ID, can come down and pick out a dress for free. Last year we had about 300 girls show up from all over North Central Washington. Probably about 260 of those said yes to the dress. So we had people from as far as Oroville, Moses Lake, Spokane even comes sometimes. But again, it's open to everybody.
And the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department has a new ladder truck in its fleet, and it's big. Ladder 10 eased into its home bay after 35 weeks of assembly by Pierce Manufacturing out of Wisconsin. The heavy-duty aerial ladder truck was built with heavy design input from the firefighters themselves. That makes sense. Pierce says the 41-foot truck features a 107-foot ladder and customized tool and equipment storage. The new truck replaces a 2012 Pierce engine and should serve Wenatchee Valley Fire for an estimated 15 years. And that's what's going on this Thursday. And if you're interested to know what's going on, we have a program we're quite proud of, the NCW Life Evening News. It'll come your way tonight on television at 5, 6, and 10. If that doesn't work into your busy schedule, we're all busy. You can watch the news via YouTube right around 5 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break or 60 seconds, whichever comes first, and do sports. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
This March, Lake Chelan welcomes food and wine lovers to an unforgettable experience. Taste Chelan. Chelan Valley's top wineries and restaurants create the perfect pairing of fine wines and culinary delights. With 4 weekends to explore, every visit offers something fresh and exciting. From your first sip to the last bite, every moment is a delicious adventure. But don't wait, tickets are selling fast. Visit tastechelan.com today. 20 minutes after the hour, Shell Kraken begin a 6-game road trip tonight. They're in Nashville, Music City, to take on the Predators. The Predators are 17-13-9 in home games. They are 30-28-9 overall, and they are 26-6-3 when they score at least 3 goals. Seattle on the road, 14-13-4. They have a -9 scoring differential, so they'll need to do something about that. The Kraken are currently tied with the Kings for the last wildcard playoff spot in the Western Conference, so this is a big road trip. It begins tonight. The puck drops at 5 on both King and Kong. Luke Raley had his best game of the spring so far. He was a one-man wrecking crew. The Mariners beat the Brewers in Cactus League play yesterday. The final was 7-3. It was hot in the desert. The DH was on base 3 times. I'm talking about Luke Raley. He hit a 3-run homer. He also had an RBI double. Randy Arozarena and Brendan Donovan also went deep, and Emerson Hancock looked pretty good in his bid to make the starting rotation.
Swing and a miss. Then had some movement to it. A 97 no less from Emerson Hancock. His first strikeout today.
And that's going to be a big pitch from right there. Allows him to tunnel off the changeup. Good four-seam fastball, carrying up and away.
He got him. Blows a heater past him at 96 miles an hour.
Last October to follow the Mariners. Gotta be the lead analyst for that.
Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball from Emerson Hancock.
Well located slider. Look at this. This is the tighter one right here, a little bit firmer one. Yeah, just dotted low and in underneath the barrel. Great pitch.
Donovan, an all-star last year with the St. Louis Cardinals. Former Gold Glove Award winner as well. He goes after the first pitch and skies it deep out to right field. Brendan Donovan on the very first pitch. Who says he's not a home run hitter?
Yeah, you're not waiting around. Yeah, let's jump on an oval middle fastball and let's hit a home run to pull side. If that's the approach today, boys, we're going to have some fun. I thought he was the on-base guy, Goldie.
That's right, yeah. I thought he was a line drive hitter. Shot out to center field. Luke Raley got every bit of this one back past the berm.
Wow, that ball got out in a hurry. There's a fastball hard at the plate. Yikes. I mean, he's been playing three days in a row, starting to get that timing down. And you didn't see a center fielder give a great effort on that because he knew that ball was absolutely smushed. Heard him talk about the changeup a little bit too. We were so focused on the sweeper slider.
Cracked out to the gap in left center field, and this ball touches down, rolls for the base of the fence. Wilson rounds third base and scores. Luke Raley's having himself a day. An RBI double with 2 outs in the 5th inning.
On base all 3 times. Box him up and send him to Seattle. He is ready.
To center field. Up in the wind. And over the line for a home run off the batter's eye. Randy Arozarena.
You like to see that. Little hanging breakable, dead center. Randy, 27 of those things last year. Go ahead. Hanging slider, middle, not trying to do too much. Might as well just go dead center with it. Randy Arozarena, you are strong.
Mariners will be in Mesa tonight. It's a night game because it's just so hot down in the desert. They moved it to the evening. They'll take on the Athletics at 6:10. It'll be streamed on Mariners.com. Here we go. The big dance begins today for 1 local team. 2 more have to start tomorrow. Gonzaga will be in the Rose City in Portland to take on Kennesaw State. That's at 7 o'clock tonight on TBS. By the way, in case you're curious, Gonzaga is 23-4 in their opening round games in history of the Gonzaga men. 23-4 in their first game of the tournament. Kennesaw State has only been to the tournament once, and they lost their opening game. Go Bulldogs. For the Washington Husky women, they have to wait until tomorrow to get going. They'll take on number 11 South Dakota State. They're in Fort Worth, Texas in Region 4. That'll be tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. But unless you have ESPN News, you can't watch it. And the Gonzaga women are number 12 seed. They'll take on Ole Miss in Minneapolis tomorrow at 12:30 on ESPN. Prep soccer schedule. Lots going on tonight. Here's what's happening. That gets going at 4 o'clock with Manson and Okanagan, and wraps up at the Apple Bowl with Eastmont and Cascade. Eastmont will take on Cascade, but that game will be at the Apple Bowl, and all the others sandwiched in between. And there's some prep baseball going on. Cascade is not being rude, but they will be insulting. At 3:30 this afternoon, Okanagan takes on Manson at home at 4:30. Brewster welcomes Lake Roosevelt to the Diamond at 4:30. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. It's National Poultry Day today, so that isn't, obviously the banks are closed. There's no school. I'm just kidding. Some scientists believe that chickens were first domesticated for cockfights and not to eat. It's a theory. Anyway, chickens will eat anything that's available, from grain to small mice to lizards. It doesn't matter. If they're hungry, they'll eat it. There are about 25 billion chickens in the world, so chickens outnumber humans 3 to 1. I hope they don't get smart. We could be in trouble there. Chickens can fly, not very high, not very far. They can make it into a tree or get over a fence to get away from natural predators. Chickens dream. They also sleep with one brain sleeping and the other half of the brain staying awake. That's pretty cool. We produce a lot of poultry. 20% of the world's poultry is produced right here in the United States. 21 million metric tons of chickens, followed by China and Brazil. And we do love our chickens around here. We'd like to eat them. I do too. Eggs too. Happy National Poultry Day, 26 minutes after the hour. The SS Georgiana was the flagship of the Confederate Navy, the most powerful Confederate cruiser, and it was built in Scotland. It was built in Scotland, and then they loaded the SS Georgiana up with munitions, medicines, and merchandise from the old world. And on her very first voyage across the Atlantic, she gets to Charleston Harbor, the port of Charleston, and it was blockaded by the U.S. Navy, who bombarded the bejesus out of the Georgiana, and the captain said, we ain't going to make it. So we took the Georgiana out about 3/4 of a mile offshore and purposely scuttled the ship, and down it went with about $1 million worth of cargo on board. And in 1863, that's a lot of money. And exactly 102 years later to the day, March 19th, 1965, that guy found it. The wreck of the Georgiana was found on the 102nd anniversary of the day it went down. He was a teenager. His name was E. Lee Spence, and he found it. And believe it or not, he goes, I can't believe nobody else could find it. It was only 3/4 of a mile out in the Atlantic Ocean, and it was only sitting in 15 feet of water. He said, I swam out and there it was. I don't know whether he got to keep it or not. I really don't know. 60 years ago today, Texas Western, now Texas El Paso, makes sports history. They become the very first college basketball team to win the NCAA National Championship with an all-black starting lineup. Their starting lineup was 5 African Americans. They beat the Kentucky Wildcats. Nobody on the entire Wildcat squad was black. That changed that. That was 60 years ago today. And happy 47th birthday to the cable and satellite public affairs network. C-SPAN went on the air for the very first time on this date of 1979. There's Tip O'Neill saying, here we go. And so the day-to-day operations, the day-to-day in-house business of the House of Representatives, now available on television. The Democrats controlled the House of Representatives at the time, and Tip O'Neill told the camera operators for C-SPAN, when a Democrat is speaking to an empty chamber, nice close shot, just like, just about the chest up, super duper close up, so nobody can tell that whoever it is, whichever congressman is speaking on the floor of the House of Representatives, the people at home would not know that there's nobody else in the joint. And he said, now, but when Republicans speak, I want a big wide shot so you can show everybody that there's nobody paying any attention when the Republicans speak. The Republicans cried foul, and Tip O'Neill said, hey, when you control the House, you can control the cameras. And that's what they did. Happy birthday, C-SPAN. Birthdays, the 14th Chief Justice of the United States and a giant in the American legal world, E. Earl Warren. Born in the state in 1891, he was the Attorney General of California. When he was the Attorney General of California, his father was murdered It was never solved. And then he became the governor. He was so popular in California, he won both the Republican and the Democratic nomination. He was a power, and then, of course, in 1954, he joined the Supreme Court and would make legal history. Earl Warren, born in the state in 1891. Glenn Close, 8 times nominated for an Academy Award and hasn't won any of them. She is tied with Peter O'Toole for the most nominations in an acting category without actually winning it. But she does have 3 Tony Awards. Glenn Close is 79. Bruce Willis is 71. Best wishes to Bruce. Die Hard, The Sixth Sense, Moonlighting, what have you. Bruce Willis, hang in there, buddy, 71 years old today. And Clayton Kershaw, who just retired. He played for Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, but he is done. Clayton Kershaw, one of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball history, is 38 years old today. Happy birthday to Clayton. And he had a beer sent to him in the bullpen during a game because he knew he wasn't going to play. I thought that was pretty cool. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors, and we're proud of it. Still to come, Mike Minotti's got an opinion. Second part of my conversation with the chief of the Wenatchee Police Department, Edgar Reinfeld. He's got a lot of stuff that you're going to want to learn about. But first things first, Blitz the dog is in dog jail. Let's get him bailed out. Spas for Pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, shelter manager here. And today I want to introduce you to Blitz. Blitz is our 2-year-old shepherd mix. He's about 50 pounds and he loves to have fun. He's our fetch champion here at the shelter. He will fetch all day long. As long as you can throw it, he will catch it and bring it back. We got Blitz about 2 months ago. We transferred him in from another shelter here in Washington. He needed new eyes on him. He was doing good there, but you know, he deserves a home, so we wanted to help out. Yeah, and he still needs a home. Blitz loves to go on walks. Like I said, he loves fetch. He is part of our doggy date program, where a member of the public can come in and take a dog out on a date. They can take them to the coffee shop, they can take them for a hike, just a walk around the neighborhood. Anything to get them out of the shelter is really so valuable to them. They really need it. People seem to be enjoying it a lot too. If you're interested in that, please come down and we can introduce you to all of our doggy date datees. And yeah, it's a very simple process. But anyways, Blitz is one of those. He loves to get out, and people have been having a great time with him. He just needs to get out more permanently. We don't know about cats because he never lived with one that we know of. He can be a little dog selective with our dogs here. He has a couple best friends, but he can get a little overstimulated with other dogs if he doesn't really like them. So if you have another dog, we highly encourage, like all meet and greets here, to bring your dog with you and see if the dogs get along, and all your family members too. Blitz is extremely smart. We have him in our Clever Canine program here, which means that he gets lots of food puzzles and fun activities to keep his smart mind activated. Yes, he loves to be doing something all the time, like a shepherd mix would. And he is great at sit. He will do a sit before you even ask him. He anticipates that. And he lays down and he'll do a spin and he'll shake your paw. Yeah, he'll do all the things. He's really treat motivated. So I think he can really learn a lot of new stuff too. If you'd like to come and meet Blitz for a date or for an adoption, please come down to our shelter 7 days a week from 12:30 to 6, and we would love to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I was recently watching a cop show on TV. It was the LA cops. They were investigating a murder. And apparently the victim had ordered a pizza and had been killed by the delivery person. The murderer killed the delivery person, yada, yada. Okay, but the delivery person, after the murder, then helped themselves to a slice after killing the guy. Now, the very astute cop said, "Oh, the suspect is from the East Coast." And the other cop asked how she knew that. And this very knowledgeable detective said, "Because he folded his slice of pizza." Yeah, that's how we do it. Of course, you West Coasters, first of all, you have no idea what real pizza is. And secondly, you don't need to fold your pizza since it's as stiff as cardboard. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Mow, dig, haul, trench. The reliable Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor is highly capable. A smooth hydrostatic transmission makes for easy operation and versatile attachments that help you handle the job. The Kubota BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. Talk to your Kubota dealer to schedule a demo.
Going through the Rivercom logs, Chief Edgar Reinfeld from the Wenatchee Police Department. Pretty quiet year for accidents. Probably weather had a lot to do with that. You know, the snow comes down and you're responding to 25, 30 fender benders just in the city of Wenatchee alone. People, from a traffic standpoint, accidents, the bread and butter of a lot of the work that your guys out on patrol are doing, seem to be down pretty much this winter. Is that just me, or is that factual?
It's a different winter. And so it's funny, for Wenatchee drivers as a whole, we do a really good job the first day the weather changes. So like the first day it snows, low collisions. The first day it really gets sunny, low collisions. The second day, we are terrible as a group. We just awful. I would agree. It feels like our collision rate is probably down a little bit through this winter, and removing just snow removal and putting snow places tends to make people drive a little bit differently. They're in a little bit different place on the roadway. We see the mirror strikes. We see things like that. The minor collisions, accepting our double fatality, vehicular homicide in December. It has felt relatively mild from the collision standpoint. The DUI standpoint, I would say, is kind of the opposite. We had 275 DUI arrests in 2025. That is not the highest in the last 5 years, but that's 275 too many in my book. It is, and it's thankfully we have a lot of motivated officers out there working the DUI problem, even while we don't have people assigned to our traffic unit. But it is indicative of a problem, and many of those do come with collisions, though at a lower rate than we might see some other places. Collisions do appear to be down. The bad collisions it helps relieve it when you don't have the horrible weather in the winter. But give Wenatchee drivers a chance. It may rain tomorrow. If it rains the second day, then we might have a problem again. It's so unusual. You look, it's horrible weather today, and then it's like, there weren't that many accidents. It's great. And the second day is just a festival of bad. I would say, too, we have avoided so far this winter, and we're almost through it. The freezing rain events are the worst thing we have. We get decent snow, we get a slight warming, we get a lot of liquid water, a good freeze overnight, and then that sunrise that morning, it is bad news. There's not a lot you can do from it, from a snow removal or even street management thing. It really has to warm up and soften enough that the de-icer or the sand or whatever sticks to it. And that 40 minutes to an hour of just that glaze is horrible, and we have not had one of those this year, and that helps your overall collision rate for a winter a lot. Because those are the days when you say 25 or 30, oh, here comes the morning. So. Yep. I'm sorry I brought it up, actually, come to think of it. It's fine. I mentioned we get these Rivercom dispatch reports. We get them all 7 days a week, including Saturdays and Sundays. And these are the phone calls from citizens phoning in to Rivercom, who then dispatches the necessary law enforcement or fire or ambulance. What's the number one Rivercom, somebody's calling into Rivercom on the 911 to report something that's law enforcement related that really they shouldn't need to call 911, or it wasn't really emergency? You get those every day. Is there a particular kind of call that you get that you really wish they had either waited or not called 911? So long as they're not actually dialing 911, I would just soon have people call about everything. Why aren't the police doing anything about that is a question we get asked a lot. And we didn't know the problem existed. Right. On a full patrol shift, fully assigned is 7. Sergeant and corporal, 5 officers. Our patrol shifts are at 6 right now, where we are with staffing. Minimum staffing is 4. And if you look at it feels like it's 12 or 14 square miles of the city of Wenatchee, and you put 4 patrol officers on there, how much do you think we really see? Yeah. And especially when we're going calls to calls, and you go to a lot of the same places. You can go to the high collision intersection, or it's funny, a lot of places in the country, Walmart's get an inordinate level of attention because of shoplifting, and that we don't have that sort of relationship with our Walmart here, which is great because there's some cities nationwide who just have a huge problem. You just end up building a substation at the Walmart and you deal with it there. But our Walmart staff here locally and their loss prevention staff are great, so they do a good job. We don't have to do that. But, we go to the same places a lot. We go back to the same problem apartment complex, or we go back to the same apartment complex that happens to have some problem tenants. So we spend a lot of time kind of going between 15 or 20 places, and there's a lot of dead space around that we don't spend a lot of time in, or we don't spend a lot of time transiting. So people calling and telling us what's going on. Now, please don't call 911 for a barking dog, for garbage, for littering, for things like that.
A car that hasn't moved in 4 days,
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
Parking complaints, but call Rivercom. One of the neat things that's happened with Rivercom in the last month is they've purchased this product called Aurelian. It's being used, it's one of many tools being used in an automated, like an AI tool for call triaging. And the interesting thing, the sellers of the product, when we met with them in a Rivercom board meeting, talked a lot about natural disasters and like especially places in the southeast where you routinely have hurricane-related events or tornado-related events, and to be able to go in there and day of to go in and put, hey, if you've got trees down, just say you got a tree down, and it automatically funnels the call away from law enforcement dispatch. If you have a tree on your house and you need the fire department, keep going. But what it does when you call, it answers, a very human voice, listens a little bit, and then determines what to do. If it hears any number of, I have no idea how many hundreds of keywords, or stress or certain noises or whatever else, it kicks it automatically to dispatcher. If you dial 911, it bypasses this. But dialing the business line, the automated tool relieves the burden on the dispatchers who are terribly overtasked and task saturated, and can feed the information to a call screen where it's reviewed by a dispatcher to go, okay, they get the call sorted out, send it to an officer to go deal with. So calling the business line, we want to know what's happening in the city. We know we don't know even nearly everything that's going on, much less anything, and sometimes. And so calling Rivercom and giving us information is truly important. But yeah, please save 911 for something that feels like a threat to life safety, something that's actively going on, that's criminal in nature, that's dangerous, and by all means, for that, every time, dial those 3 digits. But other than that, please call the business line.
You mentioned Rivercom. February 10th, the voters in Chelan and Douglas County greenlit Rivercom's badly needed new facilities. I know it's going to take quite a while for Doug and the crew to get going out there in Old Station, but that means you get some real estate back at your headquarters across the street. Have you walked around Rivercom's dispatch at the top floor of the police department with a measuring tape yet, or are you going to wait until they're boxed up and gone before you decide what to do with the top floor?
We have done a walkthrough with some Rivercom management. They've identified the areas they would like to retain as a backup call center. We're 100% for that. Server for Motorola Flex or Spillman or whatever they're calling it today, that's our computer-aided dispatch system. We'd love to keep the backup server in our building, because we also have equipment in that server room for the PD. No, we've looked around up there at the area they would like to retain. For us, it probably buys us 20 years of facility to where we don't have to consider an additional place. It's been nice to have them there. I was a Rivercom employee for 4 hours at one point before I was ever a police officer for the city of Wenatchee. The year Rivercom opened in 2004, the Fisher fires happened out at Peshastin Pinnacles, that area. And they called me and said, do you still have all your certifications? Because I'd maintained them while I was working at the water department from being a prior dispatcher. I said, yep, still legal. Like, great, can you come to work? So I went and worked a 4-hour overtime shift overnight. They had to call in all their staff. They were getting 600 or 700 calls an hour for a period when the fire really blew up. And I came in that night, the phone rang 3 times, it's great. 3 of us just kind of hung out, 3, 4 of us hung out and just waited for the phone to ring. And everybody took a big collective breath after we tried to burn down the middle west part of Chelan County with a fire. And so I'm very familiar with the space. I've spent plenty of time up there working with dispatchers and working with their management. But no, we look to the current timeline would suggest sometime next year, Rivercom relocating out to Old Station. And we have at least one significant and one moderate need right now for space. We will shift them upstairs, get them appropriate work areas, and then consider what it means for the future. I like my office where it is. I'm going to stay there, but we'll definitely look at moving some things upstairs once they move to their new location.
It's a beautiful view of the parking lot. It really is. It's from Chief's office. At the end of the year, some corporals became sergeants and some officers became corporals. Some promotions were handed out at the end of the year. Talk about that.
So effective January 1st, I think we did at the ceremony December 30th, we promoted both Corporals Miguel Ruiz and Albert Gonzalez to sergeant, and they each have a patrol crew they're responsible for now, and also promoted Caleb Amel and Thomas Foster from officer to corporal, and they are now associated with a patrol shift as well each. It's great to grow. It's great to grow people, and we will have more of it this year, where we have a sergeant retiring in June. It'll be time to promote 1 or 2 more to get them into that position. it's funny, people look at a police department, a military organization, anything else. So there's no room for growth. I'm never going to be able to promote these guys. They're never going to retire. And then the exact opposite happens. It was funny. In the military job in 2019, there was this force structure reorganization. Like, it's the end of promotion for everybody in our squadron. Like, I was doing well because I was Chief Master Sergeant already topped out. So there was nowhere for me to go unless they eliminated my job, which they did for 4 months. They realized they shouldn't. They put it back. But for all these people, we thought they're going to get logjammed and not promote. We promoted more people from 2019 through 2021 than at any period in my career there. The same thing is happening at the PD. We look at it and say there's not going to be promotion opportunity for 3 or 4 years, and then you turn around and we are testing every year for promotion, doing an assessment center. This last one, 7 people tested. There have been 6 promotions off that list already. It's interesting to watch. We're in a cycle of attrition due to retirement, and amongst a lot of promoted and experienced members of the department are retiring out as they've hit an appropriate age and tenure in their job, and suddenly there's another opportunity and another opportunity and another opportunity. They test and take the assessment center with the idea they're getting 1 bite at the apple, and some of them are getting 3. And they may promote once or twice, and even if they aren't selected one time, they're going to get another shot, which is exactly what happened with this last one and the list that's still in place.
You probably have a really good day when you get to do that. Congratulations, you are now a corporal. Congratulations, you are now a sergeant. One of your other good days is chief for a day.
Yes.
You're into that. You have it, your chief for the day for the upcoming Washington State Apple Blossom Festival is a done deal. I think half the department showed up for that little wing ding. Talk about this brave young kid.
So our little chief this year, our chief for a day, is Aaron Chavez. He's at Newberry Elementary School, 5th grader, I believe. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to say he's a 5th grader.
He knows what grade he's in.
He knows what grade he's in. And no, it was 9 people in uniform show up. It was crazy. The whole patrol shift showed up, and then some others, and we had a training officer out. So we had doing a check ride, and so we had yet another officer, and it was really great to go there. I think we also happened to catch 2 classes together for a music or art class or something. So it was a very large group of kids. It's one of the best days of the year for me as an officer in my career. Chief for a Day is a good high point day. Trick or Treat on the Ave is awesome. National Night Out is a great time. Shop with Cops is great. It's all of these community connection outreach events that not only do something for the community, but especially Chief for a Day, something for individual children. So many of the children are in a bad way, one way or another, from health or developmental issues or things, and to give a day that's really focused on them. And the good thing is it felt years ago like it was just the Chief for a Day, just a Thursday before Apple Blossom, but with the classroom meet, and then hopefully a building tour if it's appropriate for the student, and then doing Chief for a Day, and then getting them in the car in the grand parade. We really stretch it out now to about 6 weeks of kind of special events that keep coming up, and the donors to Chief for a Day, including local sports teams and stuff like the Wenatchee Wild, giving game tickets to families. There's not just the events with us as law enforcement, but there's community events where Slidewaters gives tickets every year. It's a Slidewaters Day for this child and their families is a truly wonderful thing that really can make a difference and make a really solid and positive set of memories for kids who might otherwise be having a really hard time.
What's on your mind before we cut you loose? I know you're a busy guy. We've been here for a while. Before we cut you loose, anything that's law enforcement related? Or are you painting your house? What else is going on in Chief Wrightsville world that might be newsworthy? I'll let you take it home, Chief.
Thankfully, the house painting was done a couple of years ago. Okay. The front yard replacement was done a couple of years ago. The backyard replacement, I just have to do the whole inside of the house. So we'll save that for another, hopefully as long as I can manage. It's very difficult. With the law enforcement thing, the number one thing I tell people is slow down. There is no hurry you can be in that's going to make a difference for getting somewhere. Please do not drink and drive. We've been seeing plenty of that. But we saw a very mild winter traffic-wise. So what we saw was our reckless driving and racing crowd never stopped this year. They never got that weather hold for, hey, the weather's no good. And so it's gone on all winter. And we've been fortunate not to have a lot of bad incidents, but we easily could have. We easily could have had serious injuries or fatalities. And I would say this past weekend, just in our region, we had more fatality collisions, including one on 97A with an unrestrained passenger who was not wearing a seatbelt and died. And the other person in the car was wearing a seatbelt and survived. And please wear your seatbelt, slow down. There's nothing worth being in that big a rush. And please don't drink and drive, because better that we're all around to see each other and say hi. And hang out with my friend Dan here for a minute, as opposed to not being here because of a series of bad decisions behind the wheel.
And they know what they're doing, folks. If you insist on drinking and driving, you will eventually get caught. It's almost a lead pipe cinch. Chief, it's good to see you again. I won't see you for a while in the studio, but I'll see you around town. Sure. Happy Apple Blossom?
Yes, sir.
We'll get together maybe early summer?
I think it'd be a great idea. June sounds like a good plan.
Chief Edgar Reinfeld, everybody give him a big hand. We don't have a studio audience.
Hi, audience.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back. Ta-da, two-parter.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Temperature continues to rise. It's 54 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley, and it's not even quite 8 o'clock in the morning if you're watching the live edition of this program, so we're already at our normal high temperature for this date. Again, if you just joined us, we had 69 on Wednesday in the Wenatchee Valley. That was just one off a record. It kind of really, temperatures just took off like crazy. Omak did set a record yesterday with 74 degrees, and they're going to be in the 70s today as well. We're going to have 2 more days of pretty warm weather, and then we're going to cool down with a lot of sunshine. But before we get to that, we have the time. So one more look around north central Washington and the Wenatchee Valley with our PTZ cameras. We're panning, we're tilting, we're zooming all over the place, and there is the valley proper on this Thursday morning. The Rock Island line, it is a mighty fine line. The Rock Island camera way up above the township of Rock Island, and you can see Porter's Pond and the golf course. Good day to go out and get a little golf, although we will get a little sprinkles. Going to get some light sprinkles later on this afternoon. If we get any rain, it's going to be relegated to the late afternoon hours. Up to Nanapoc Ridge, we showed you this camera earlier. Looks like the clouds are a little bit higher. Looks like they're moving at a pretty good clip, too. By the way, we're going to have a little bit of a wind on Friday night, and I think I see a couple of raindrops falling down on that lens there, high above Lake Wenatchee. And let's wrap up our 4 camera tour with Billy Goat. And I can tell you for a fact that those clouds are high because that camera is over 7,000 feet in elevation. So common sense tells me those clouds are up there quite a bit. So good morning to our friends at Pateros and Bridgeport and Brewster. We have viewers all over the area. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. A little bit cooler today. We're thinking 64. The big difference is it's going to be pretty cloudy most of the day. We're not going to see a lot of sunshine, and again, a slight chance of some late afternoon rain. Chance of rain tonight is at 40%. It'll be cloudy, 50 for the overnight low. That's mild. Friday, mixture of clouds and sun, and still a 50% chance of rain one way or the other, and a high of 65. And then on Friday night is when a cold front comes in. It's not a big dramatic change in the weather, but you're going to notice that Friday night the winds will be picking up a little bit in intensity. The cold air begins to seep down and pay us a visit, which is why we're going to go all the way down to 40 for the overnight low on Friday. Now the all-important weekend, the first full weekend of spring. Again, the vernal equinox is tomorrow at 7:46 in the morning. During this program, we'll have to celebrate. 53 and sunshine on Saturday, 32 for the overnight low Saturday night. Sunshine most of the day on Sunday until the very latter part of the day, about 6 o'clock, 6:30 or so on Sunday night. You'll notice the clouds begin to creep in a little bit, and we'll get up to about 55 or so. And that's it for us. Have a good and safe Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.